We're back to the Total Celebrity Show on the Total Radio Network. Again, TotalTutor.net for more information. Twitter, Total Tutor, Neil S. Haley. Facebook, LinkedIn, Neil Haley. Instagram, Total Tutor. And Pinterest, Neil Haley. And let's continue with such interesting guests. And when we talk about certain people that entertain, I had the Fab Four on that were the Beatles, I guess, impersonating band. Now this week, I have 4 Day Weekend on. That's an improv group, comedy troupe, and very, very famous and known. And I guess they're even involved with President Bush in some way. So I want to welcome to the program David Wolk. David, how are you?
I'm doing very well. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. So, David, tell us a little bit about your background. Then we're going to get right into 4 Day Weekend. You can kind of give us the gist about where you've come and where you're going and all that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we're a comedy group. We're based out of Dallas-Fort Worth, and very slowly and methodically, we've been around for 17 years, and we perform more than 5,000 shows, and this little tiny improv troupe has just become this behemoth of a comedy club and a touring company and a corporate communication division and a training center, and it's far exceeded our wildest expectations. We're thrilled.
Well, it sounds like it for sure. So, David, basically, when you first started this, you thought you're just going to be doing this little gig and this shtick, and it became much, much more, it sounds like.
Yeah, absolutely. Here was the goal. We only had plans to do 6 weeks, to do
Wow.
6 weekends. And, February was February 28th was 17 years and 5,000 shows. So either we really exceeded our goals or we just really haven't found the next thing to do.
Well, and what would you say the next goal? Where would you say your biggest break was in doing all these different things? I guess being with President Bush tonight is something pretty amazing. But and he knows you from Texas for sure. But tell me specifically what you think your biggest highlight of your career has been.
The highlight was we were invited to be the keynote presenters at the Democratic Issues Conference. And we met President Obama. We got a standing ovation from Congress. And it's our keynote, which is part comedy show, part improvisational message, and how to think, listen, make other people look good, and work better as a team. And that's kind of our keynote. And we had no idea it would take us to meeting the President of the United States. It's really a funny story because we got an article written about us in an in-flight magazine, and a congresswoman read it, and Congressman John Larson, the chairman of the Democratic National Caucus, calls my phone, and I think it's one of the other guys in the group, busting my hump, right? And he says, "Hello, David, this is Congressman John Larson," to which, again, I think it's a joke, and I say, "Well, hello, Congressman." And he said, "Well, I've heard good things about your organization." I said, "I wish I could say the same about yours." And I'm totally thinking it's one of the other guys, just as what we do. We bust each other's hump all day. And then there was this silence on the other end of the phone, and I realized, this might actually be Congressman John Larson. Got to 3 weeks later, we're the guys giving the keynote at the Issues Conference.
So you probably were shocked, especially being Texans, to be going to the Democratic, anything involving Obama and the Democrats, right?
Yeah, it was shocking. We kept saying, we're Texas guys, right?
And so, but so it's very interesting. I guess you got to kind of tell me how you work your stick, okay? Because I especially again being with the part of the whole thing is Bush is the keynote, and you're emceeing this event in Vegas right now. Tell me what you guys do. Kind of give me a gist, because I'm the kind of person, I'm kind of like Larry King in a way. I have a few talking points, and it depends on if I have enough time. I'll go into more, but you can see I can just constantly just ask the right questions, even if I don't know much about you. By the time the interview's over, I'll know everything about you, and that's how it is. So kind of give me how you guys run your deals, especially like in Vegas.
Well, the corporate events, our show, we own a beautiful 212-seat theater in downtown Fort Worth, and beautiful venue. It's been running forever. We do 4 shows a week to the public. And for the most part, it's a clean show. It's completely improvised. So every now and then, you'll touch on adult topics or innuendo, but we work clean, and we're not prudes by any stretch. We just don't need to go there to be funny. Well, that's opened up this world of corporate entertainment and hosting meetings that we had no idea even existed when we started our show. And we'll go into these conferences, these 2, 3, 4-day conferences, and, it's meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting. And, the audience can only take so much. So we'll go in and we'll be the thread. We'll be that spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down. We introduce the speakers. We'll do improvised bits after each presentation to help reinforce the message. And, our intros just get, kind of legendary. We really have fun with introducing the speakers, whether it's doing an improvised song about them or just having fun with them. And that's what happened at the conference we're at now with Pfizer. We're just having fun introducing the sponsors and singing songs about them, improvised songs, and then of course, having fun teasing that President Bush was coming up and just having a good time with that. And of course, he comes out and he gives it as good as he gets it. He's great, and we've worked with him before, so he was very complimentary towards us. He's just a really funny guy. So that. That's kind of our corporate world, is we're that spoonful of sugar that helps the medicine go down. We'll go in and be with you. And the great thing is, I always say, hey, we don't have to be Seinfeld. We just have to be better than Earl from accounting who goes after us.
Right. Have you ever been on television? Have you guys ever gotten on TV, like on different, highlighted on television, like a PBS or something with your deal?
Yeah, it's funny because improvisation helps you audition. So we audition very well. And one of our guys hosts a syndicated morning show called Eye Opener, and I've been the spokesperson for Dish Network, and Frank's been the spokesperson for Whataburger. So we've done hundreds and hundreds of commercials and TV and film, little bit parts. And we actually even sold a show to Fox a couple years back, and then it just kind of died on the vine in development hell. But it was a great idea, and we really made inroads in L.A. And it was a fun learning experience to go down that road as well.
Is it so? Do you see yourself again having that opportunity, maybe a Fox deal again? You never know what can happen.
Yeah, no, I think so. It's such an interesting. We spent a couple of years working on the show and developing the show Bible, and it sold, and then it was, we're this improv troupe from Fort Worth, so of course they want to put bigger names on it. What are we going to say? No. It's Fox Network. Of course we're going to say yes. And, every draft of the script, it's your typical Hollywood story. Every draft of the script gets farther and farther away from the thing they loved and bought in the room. And when it was all said and done, it just didn't go. So, we came back, concentrated on 4-day weekend for a couple of years, and, we'll charge the hill again. No problem. We have a million ideas.
A million ideas, so true, and thinking about just where to go next with the organization and everything is so important. And could you see yourself go from your place where you pack that theater and be in Vegas forever? You're in Vegas. You guys could be doing the 4-day weekend thing in Vegas every night.
It's funny. We talk about that because we're there at least once a month doing something. We thought we should probably just get an apartment here and save our clients a bunch of money flying us out and putting us up. But, we did think how we could, because we've been together so long, Neil, that it's evolved even farther away from this improv troupe to really, we're kind of like the Rat Pack. I mean, we're just the life of the party, and we been working together so long and know each other so well. Just that chemistry and that spontaneity and that fun is just contagious. So we can go into a room with 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people, and it plays like an intimate venue.
That's great, and that's excitement, right? For sure.
Oh, it's so fun. So fun.
It definitely sounds like it's fun, and you're like, well, what's next for us, right? You always are thinking about that too, right?
Yeah, and the great thing is, we've been around so long, but we've got some great young talent that have come through our training center, and, sky's the limit for these kids. We've made such great inroads that, we can take all the meetings we want in L.A. now. And so we just keep telling these young kids in our training center and our touring company, bring on the ideas. We've opened the door for you. We will get you to sit down. So looking forward to seeing what's going to come out of the 4-day weekend camp.
So here's the thing. What's the latest thing you're promoting right now? You're promoting, I'm sure, your events in Fort Worth, but what else?
This is a great thing about improvisation, is that there are no bad ideas, there are no wrong ideas, and we work under the principle of yes and. And I'm a nice Jewish kid from Oklahoma, and I was at a cocktail party with a friend of mine who's a writer. She's a nice Jewish girl from Chicago, and we're looking at this. We're at a Christmas party, and here's the elf on the shelf, right? And we're like, hey, look at that. Well, where's our Jew on the pew? And she's like, yeah, where's our Maccabee on the mantle? We're always getting the short end of the stick this time of year. And I looked at her, and under the guise of improv and yes man, I said, Abra, you're a writer. I said, write it. I said, I'll use the 4-day weekend connections, and we'll get this done. So we have come up with kind of the Jewish elf on the shelf, and it's called Maccabee on the Mantle. It's a book and a plush toy. It tells the story of Hanukkah. We just got back from an unbelievably successful toy fair in New York City where 4-day weekend had this booth. And, who knew that in addition to the live show and the touring company and the scripts for Hollywood, that we were going to end up with this children's product? Because we don't say no. We work under yes and. And it's this great little children's product. We've sold thousands and thousands of them. And just had no idea. So that's kind of like we're in the eye of the hurricane right now, where all these Maccabee dolls and books are, in production right now, getting ready to roll out even bigger for Hanukkah 14. I mean, who knew?
So you got to come up with another interesting idea, right?
And that's it. Well, what's the next idea? I mean, that's the great thing when you work in an ensemble. You're surrounded by all these talented, creative people, and thank goodness, as I knock on wood, 4-day weekend's been successful enough that, if anybody has an idea, well, great, we have money. Let's, we can get it done. Let's do it.
So when you're talking about your training program, explain what you mean by that.
So we have a 4-level training center with a 5th-level kind of a graduate program, and it teaches improvisation, and it teaches the yes-and principle. So we have comedians, we have actors, and we have just folks in the business community that want to better their listening skills. And, currently we have a couple hundred students in our training center in Fort Worth learning the art of improv from us.
I tell you, David, you have so many ideas. Now, you need to be in the think tank in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, thank you. As my grandmother would say, from your mouth to God's ears, right? Where do I sign up?
Oh, exactly. All right, David, where can we find information on 4-day weekend, and best of luck? Is there? Would you say the promotion right now is the book, is the training, and also to go see you guys live in Fort Worth? I think those are the things you're promoting.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So all of it is. Yeah, go ahead.
Our bread and butter is the live show. I mean, if you come out to our theater. But the only act that plays there, it's designed for our show. I'll put it up with any other comedy show in the country. And, of course, if your company needs something to make your meeting more memorable, that's what we do. That's what we do. And we also have a business book called The Art of Improvising, which is how to combine creativity and commerce for harmony in the workplace.
Wow. So we could call this Author's Corner then, it sounds like, David. You got 2 books out.
Yeah, I guess so. We sure could.
All right. Well, David, where can we find information? I guess it's 4dayweekend.com. And at 4-day, and is there a Twitter at 4-day weekend? Am I correct?
Yeah, at 4 DAYWKD, and of course our Facebook 4-day weekend. And join us at 4dayweekend.com. We'll kill an hour of your day easy with fun stuff on that site.
Well, David, thanks for calling, and enjoy the rest of the time in Vegas. And remember,
I appreciate it.
Be careful, too. All right. Vegas.
Yeah, we've been in this town long enough to know, pace yourself.
Exactly, David. All right, take care, man.
Thanks.
Okay.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. You're listening to Total Celebrity Show, and we'll be back in just a moment.